Last time on Dice Fall and Everyone Dies. When last we left off, a wonderful plan went to shit real fast.
Woodsmoke the Bear may not agree with this plan, but what if we set the main building on fire and then head for the cave?
Well, what would happen if the whole forest catches on fire? Won't we be caught in the conflagration?
No chance we'll have to take.
Hang on.
No, we'll do it. Let's do it.
Castle.
Burn it down.
Castle.
Burn it down.
Y'all are basically going to ride up on the same horse, and then how are y'all going to... Tell me how this is going to come down.
So,
you ride up into this clearing, you're riding right up to it.
Taffy casts dancing lights all the way around.
A circle of dancing lights around Stano and I. And I'm just flipping them all off, saying, "Buzz, you stupid bitch, come at me!" Oh, no!
Welcome back to Dice Fall and Everyone Dies. I'm your GM Chris, and today I want to talk about the difference between tactics and strategy. Let's use our band of mercenaries as an example. 3 of our half-orc mercenaries dove deep into the brush to track down a wizard spy. The wizard was obviously injured, having taken some arrow shots, and 3 strapping young half-orcs should have been more than enough to handle a single injured caster. The tactic of 3 versus 1 is a solid tactic. But what their team didn't account for is that there was a cavalry of adventurers ready to come swooping in to save a fallen comrade. Sending a scout forward to lure out the enemy was a very useful strategy. The primary difference between a tactic and a strategy, though, actually comes down to the difference between the means and a plan. The mercenaries, as well as the party, actually use the same tactics: outnumber your opponent and then beat them down. But the party actually used a more sophisticated strategy, even if Taffy didn't tell anyone about it. In my experience, tabletop games tend to reward tactics over strategy. There are a few reasons for that. The predominant one is the material that gets presented to the players. Many adventurers have a small group of individuals encountering some scheme and then rallying together to end the threat to whatever fluffy bunnies and kittens happen to inhabit the world. This kind of story is very easy to get invested into. It takes a manageable amount of time to be able to tell, but it doesn't require the greatest amount of skill to make highly enjoyable. Tables that coordinate their individual tactics get rewarded as they defeat any of the encounters that are presented. And then they have a chance to enjoy any narrative that's then presented by the game master. The second cause, though, is that for players to engage in a strategy, they must first be active protagonists in an adventure. This goes beyond just the sense of player agency, and it's more to the question of, is a party actively seeking something from the game world? A player has to have a goal and a motive before they can really even form a strategy. So simply stated, it's really hard to get that done well and consistently. A GM may be able to engage players by throwing varied encounters with a loose theme, but that's not the same thing as a grand narrative plotted out that is reactive to the ideas of the players. That takes a lot more prep and planning to accomplish. Plus, we're really only talking about part of the experience. Tabletop games reward players for tactics and tend to reward game masters for strategy. As the GM, you control things like plot, NPCs, and world events, but if those aspects are not put together in a coordinated and planned out fashion, players tend to lose interest and will either move on to new games or become disruptive with other activities at the table. This forms the basis of the third reason. Tabletop games find themselves forced to strike a balance between gameplay styles because of the roles that are taken on at a game table. An average table of 5 people breaks down into 4 players and 1 GM, and thus 4 people are going to be rewarded for tactical play, while the GM is going to be rewarded for strategic play. The goals being varied is going to force a different balance of rewards. Now, nothing prevents that from being reversed. A GM can use clever tactics to challenge their players, while players can formulate complex multi-session strategies to foil a vast evil empire. Every table is going to be a little different. What we should keep in mind is how people at the table interact with each other and how to get the best enjoyment from the time we're all going to spend together. Speaking of, thank you for spending your time with us here at the podcast. Please leave a rating and comment on your podcast app of choice. It really helps out the show, and it makes us feel good. Now, we are looking for ways to adapt to the current set of obstacles placed forth by reality at this point. And we're probably going to have to use some different recording methods while everyone is going through this social distancing fun stuff. So we hope to be able to keep from missing any weeks of the show due to this. We're working on some contingencies. Now, let's jump back into combat as Taffy was getting an opportunity to set a whole forest on fire.
Chris,
27.
what's that face?
That I just rolled 2d8 and got 8 on both of the dice. So with your 27, he tries to shove you off, but you counterbalance back from the blade, and you do this roll back. And so instead of getting shoved off the platform, you actually move 5 feet further onto the platform. But in the process of that, it ends up exaggerating his sword strike, dealing to you the maximum amount of damage, and you take 24 points of damage from the strike.
Oh my god.
Ow.
Is Kazlin still alive?
Yes, he's alive.
I'm just asking. Would be the first time a party member has died.
And then one of the other ones takes a pot shot at
Stanos died
Stano.
too.
So,
Which one takes a pot shot at Stano? The one that's terrified of her?
yes, you have him very scared, but it's been around, and frightened wears off round by round. So what is Stano's AC?
Oh. 22.
So the first one is able to strike you, and he strikes you with precision,
Bitch.
but it is a glancing blow as you are waving your sword around, and you take 3 points of damage.
You make her sound like a crazy person.
And the second one goes wide.
I mean, you are shouting at archers, and I'm sure you come down and fight you like men.
Did she come down and fight her like men?
Steno, it is your action.
So which tree was the hobgoblin behind?
You have not spotted the hobgoblin yet. Do you want to
Okay.
take a seek action to try to spot the hobgoblin?
Which tree did Stano hear the feminine laughter from?
So the feminine laughter came from behind the primary elevated fortification, and you think it came from the building itself that's on the ground.
Cool. So Stano's gonna get back on her horse.
Oh yeah, you got off your horse to wave your sword around.
Yeah.
All right, so you mount back up.
She's going to full-scale gallop over there.
All right, so do you want to gallop on the front side, or do you want to gallop around the back side?
Or on the backside.
So you gallop around the backside of the... You see that this is an old log cabin. It has a gently sloped and shingled roof, and there's a single door on the face between you and the cavern opening. You see there are no windows in the walls, but they are crusted with patches of moss that's there. And so you see that there is a closed door there, as well as a cave opening further to your right. And so that will take you, gallop as 2 actions, and so it leaves you on your horse and there. And Alec takes his turn, and he settles himself back on his horse and begins wheeling it around, and then yells up to Kazlin, I think I see... Oh yeah, there's 2 rope ladders. Kazlin, kick one down. And that takes his turn to be able to kind of see, kind of moving around what's going on there.
So you
And
took a seek action?
Yes. Took him multiple to see what was
What?
going on there.
I swear to
Alec,
God.
baby.
And then Taffy. High or low?
Hi.
Your fire spreads.
No!
So more
The
of the tree
forest!
base is now catching on fire.
Think of the squirrels.
So you have 3 actions. Do you want to sustain your sphere?
Oh yeah.
The squirrels.
What do
in
you
the
want to do with your
tree.
sphere with your sustain? You can move it 30 feet.
What if there are nymphs living in the tree?
Do I see anybody that is not an ally around that tree?
So from your angle presently, no, because you know one of them went to go engage Bread, and they're up on the platform.
I want to roll it in the direction of...
So right now you have it more on the
Okay.
ground aspect of the tree.
Well, I want to roll it up and on the platform itself.
Okay, so you can get it up onto the platform, and you're wanting to, we'll say that is another strike against the foliage of the tree to get it up where it's at. So if you have anywhere from 1 to 20 on your percentile dice, what did you roll?
I rolled an 89.
So you have not caught fire to that aspect. You have 2 more actions. What do you want to do?
It's 1 action per turn to move it, or I can move it 1 action each time.
So that's the fun part about Sustain. Sustain allows you to keep the spell active and then move it. So do you want to continue to move the sphere around to different locations?
Yes.
So do you want to try to move the sphere up onto
What are you trying to do with this?
one of the bad guys?
Yes.
Alright, so that'll take another action to move the sphere onto the bad guy.
Okay.
And so he's going to get a reflex save against that.
I'm also seeing if I catch anything on fire. I rolled an 8.
So, what's your DC for your reflex? So that would be your spell DC.
Sorry.
Because I know it's pretty high now.
This is an arcane spell, so it's
Yes.
20.
I'm so very concerned about this forest right now, guys.
The half-orc is able to dodge out of the way, but he'll have to move from the square as his square is now catching on fire. So if he remains in this segment, his DC is going to dramatically go up.
I'd like to use my last action to move it after him.
Well, he hasn't moved yet.
Oh.
So you use 1 action to move there. He's going to get he passed his reflex. So now you have 1 more action. What do you want to do?
Can I see his buddy?
You can. Well, you vaguely. I mean, you have a very poor spot. You would need to move to be able to see more properly.
I'm gonna roll it towards his buddy.
Okay? And so Kazaleen, you see this sphere just come blazing along part of the tree, and it begins rolling through.
Shouldn't Caslin be upset about this?
Because he's up here?
No, because he's a ranger.
And this one rolls his reflex save, and he gets a 26
He likes
on
nature.
his save.
God damn it.
And
But
what was your roll?
16.
16? So there's now multiple spots that are caught on fire here with this. So
Now it's the platform, it's not the tree.
Oh yeah, it's just the platform on the tree that's made of wood.
and now finally, Stano, you see someone kick out the door next to you.
Hello.
With both of her blades drawn, a rapier as well as a dagger. And she moves in to engage you while you are on the horse.
So is that technically invoking Stanos' attack of opportunity?
No, because she's moving into, not out
fair.
from. You unfortunately do not have reach while you are on there.
I don't know. I was gonna see if she could use the horse.
This hobgoblin attacks with...
Wait, but didn't Stano ready an attack in case anybody came into range?
A while back.
Oh,
Yeah, it took all 3 actions to move over with the horse.
gotcha.
And so a rapier comes darting in towards Stano. And Stano's AC is...
22.
So you're able to deflect the rapier with your sword at the last moment. A dagger comes in on the opposite side, and it's able to catch right in on the under part of your plating, as your sword is not able to deflect this part of the blow. And she deals to you 5 points of damage in the process of it. Kazaleen, you are 5 feet from the edge of the platform. You see that there is a sphere that came rolling up part of the tree and then came rolling across each of the guys, and it is leaving a small trail of fire everywhere it stops, and the platform is obviously caught on fire. What do you want to do?
I want to push one of the guys off.
All right. So that will be an athletics check to bull rush.
Don't catch yourself on fire, please.
Alright.
You want to do the one on the right or the one on the left?
Which is the one that hit me?
The one on your left is the one that hit you.
One on the left. And 19.
So you have to go against his reflex DC, and you're able to meet his reflex DC. And so you bull rush him off the side. So you basically come in with your elbow, you knock him off, he loses his balance, is like, and he begins falling the 20 feet down from that, and he ends up taking half the fall damage, rounded up, so he takes 8 points of damage from the fall.
Is he prone?
He does land prone, and so he is prone on the ground, having taken 8 points of damage, having fallen on his back.
You said 20 feet?
Yep, because the first 5 you don't take damage, and
okay.
so the last 15 he takes damage from. It's amazing. Those falling rolls come in handy.
How far am I from the other guy?
So you are now 5 feet away. So you're not in the square next to him. You're in the square, one more square away. So it would take another action to move up to him. You probably should move, considering this spot will be on fire here.
Was the bum rush, is that 2 actions?
Yes.
So the spot I'm in is going to be on fire.
Yes, it is catching fire. If you stand in it further, you will take fire damage.
How much fire damage?
Probably a D4.
Would it be at the flaming spheres?
No, the flaming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that would be terrible.
Actually, I think it's probably a D6 in fire.
I don't know. I think it'd be really cool if Castle let himself
'Cause it's
willingly
fire.
catch on
I am.
I'm
fire,
letting
and
letting
then
himself catch on fire.
attacked people while on fire.
He's gonna quick draw his halberd
Mm.
and
Attack.
That will be
Attack.
within range. Yep,
Yep.
do it.
you get that back.
Welcome, Brad.
That would not have been
Is
good.
your strike worth it to strike from the flames?
Okay,
What?
let's try this.
Through the fire and the flames.
24.
24 hits.
All right.
Pokey, pokey.
1d10 plus 2. 5.
5 points of damage. So as
we gonna
the
live through
flame
this, guys?
begins licking up, you quickly unsheath your halberd from its from the spot on your back, and you jab it forward, and you catch the guy kind of along his shoulder a little bit, and he is definitely not happy. Demos.
Quick question.
Yes.
Is he also in a place that's going to be caught on fire?
Yes, he's going to have to move very shortly. What you got, Demos?
I'm glad at least somebody likes my plan.
So you see that a sphere has gone up, rolled up part of the side of the tree through some sort of crazy magic, and then has left a trail of fire. A dude just fell out from the side, landed on his back in front, and you see Alec is asking for Bread to kick down a rope ladder.
Does Damos have mage hand?
I do.
But Alec has seen the dude fall onto his back and is probably about to pounce. But what does Deimos do?
Alec, don't be that horny.
When they come into your
Oh.
range, sometimes you've got to stab them.
I'm going to use Mage Hand. Hold on, let me read this. I can move it up to 20 feet, basically, using Mage Hand.
What can you move?
So you want to use your mage hand to pull down one of the rope ladders?
Yes.
Oh,
That'll
I
take
see.
you 2 actions.
Alright.
So you cast mage hand. And it rolls down.
And then do Inspired Defense for everybody.
The power of magic. So it is now the half-orc's turn.
The one that fell.
Well, yes, all of them will be going here.
Oh.
And so one of them is going to step 5 foot closer to Kazlin and then continue to strike with his longsword. What is Kazlin's AC?
21.
+1.
+1.
22.
So Kazlin is able to deftly block both of the strikes from that one. The one that fell down on his back is able to stand up, takes a moment to quickly get his bearings, and then launches himself at Alec there on the horse.
No.
And naturally 20s Alec on the horse.
Oh!
Draw the critical card. Let's see what happens.
Sid, that's you.
Poor Alec.
There are no critical cards. They are gone. We've used all of them.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? These half-orcs they're rolling good.
They didn't get demoralized when Stano
What,
yelled at
slashing?
them.
Yep, slashing.
Stand aside. Push the target 5 feet.
Haha!
Oh. That's easy enough.
Just knocks the horse aside.
Oh, wow, that's still a lot of damage. All right.
No!
Well, if his target is Alec, then that would...
You would knock Alec off.
He
the
knocks
horse.
Alec off the horse.
Oh.
Unless Alec can.
Did you just roll full damage again?
I didn't roll full damage, but Alec failed his reflex critically.
Alec.
Alec!
Alec, you bastard.
But he takes a minimum for that. So you see
Beautiful,
this
beautiful
slash
bastard.
catch Alec off guard as he was getting prepared to swing down from horseback, and a solid 21 points of damage slams in Alec and catches him totally off guard. Alec is flung from the side of the horse and then lands squarely on the upper part of his shoulders, practically on his head, but takes another point of damage as he then rolls on across back on his shoulders, and he's now prone on his stomach there. So Alec took a really solid hit from that dude.
Damn.
And then the other one, seeing that his buddy is about to get outclassed by Kazalin, decides that he's going to fire at Kazalin. And Kazalin's AC is
21.
22.
22.
all 3 of these shots miss as Kazalin just basically takes and twirls his glaive,
His halberd.
his halberd, in the process of the spin. It is now Steno's turn. You have a medium-sized, well-armed hobgoblin. She has an eye patch going across her left side. She's wearing a dark cloak, and she has a classic duelist stance.
That's true. It does mean she has no depth perception.
Magical depth perception.
Right.
What would you like to do, Steno?
Is Stato able to basically rear up and have the horse like kick her?
You can. It will be. It will take an action.
Okay. Stano is going to do that then. I just natural 20 that, so that is a
So pull a critical card for bludgeon.
27 to hit.
So a 27 hits, and as a natural 20, we'll get a bludgeon critical effect.
Critical effect, the target is stupefied 2 until healed.
Yep.
The ability is called Tutor Thinky
Fuck it.
Bits.
6 damage.
To her thinky bits.
Stupefied, huh?
Tutor Thinky Bits. That's such a great spell, or critical name.
So intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. So the horse's hooves beam down on the top of her head for 6 points of damage.
Wait. No. 10 points of damage. Sorry, I forgot you doubled the other part too.
Yes, that matters. Alright, so Stano has 2 more actions left.
She's then going to direct the dog, because the Onyx dog just follows her around,
Gotcha.
to attack. Not as impressive, but that's fine. So that is that's an 18.
18 misses.
18 misses?
18
Even though
misses.
she's stupefied?
Stupefied only
Stupefied?
goes towards wisdom, charisma, and intelligence based DCs
That's
and
fine.
checks.
That's fine.
Her
So
training seems to be allowing her to keep her general combat wits about her.
Muscle memory.
So then fine. Then Stanos just gonna swipe at her.
Swiper.
Uh,
So a standard
at her.
strike.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's gonna strike her.
Did the goblin not the goblin.
That is a 21.
21 is deflected by the rapier. It is not enough to breach her AC.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Wow.
This is a beautifully evil look.
So did the half-orc that was attacking Caslin move out of the flaming sphere's spot?
Yes, both of them have moved out.
Well,
from
one of
those
them got
spots.
shoved out. And
Yes,
the other...
one got shoved out.
Okay, cool.
And so now it is Alec's turn. So Alec is able to stand up from prone. He shakes his head, and then Demos, you see this one specifically because you're facing right in. There's a little bit of a bulge under Alec's plate, and you notice that there's something a little special about the plate. Something's changed on that one, and his sword is not the same sword. You see it swing out and lash against the half-orc. And there's this glow as runes run across the full length of this greatsword.
Wait, what?
It seems as though in the time when y'all were preparing, Alec had switched out his sword. And the impact as Alec's sword slams into this half-orc is on par with what you would normally expect from Stanos, except this glow ripples across at the same time from his power attack. And the half-orc's sword bends as he tries to parry.
Jesus.
And then there's just a gout of blood that goes across.
Okay, Alec.
The half-orc is immediately disemboweled, falling
Shit.
Fuck.
forward. and he done. He's dead.
He did?
He dead. For
In
you-
my notes, I'm putting Alec power attacks an orc and murders his shit.
So, for the record, this hobgoblin has between a 22 and a 27 AC.
So you believe Alec dealt about, if I do my additional math here correctly, he did over 20 points of damage with this strike.
That's not the orc that fell out of off the platform, is it?
It is the one that fell off. the
Damn it!
platform.
Taffy had plans for that one.
Torture another one off.
All right.
Cast another spell.
Alec! Throw me up.
You have 3 spots on fire right now. Okay, the fire is not yet spread for those 3 spots. Oh wait, then there's a spot where the sphere's at.
No!
Okay.
I thought
So
I
yeah.
rolled the spear damage.
Yes, the sphere fire spreading. Okay.
This is still Alec's turn.
It is now Taffy's turn. Well, because Alec had to stand and then he power attacked. It's always
Can I
nice
see-
dealing 3d12 on a power attack.
So I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna sustain the sphere. So I'm gonna
Okay.
use an action to roll it towards the goblin or the half orc that moved.
He just failed to save.
Yes!
Rolled 3d6 fire damage.
Kill it. Look like this.
I think this is the first time the flaming sphere is actually doing damage to a creature.
Yeah. That could have been better, but whatever. 12. Do I add anything to that?
Nope, straight 3d6.
Okay, so 12 damage. And then 18.
18, so that spot is now also on fire. So
And
you have
then-
2 actions.
Okay, and then are Stato and her horse between me and the hobgoblin, or
No, so
Hobgoblin.
the hobgoblin and Stano
Honestly.
are obscured by the shack. So they're having a duel on the opposite side.
Okay.
So what would you do? Deal 2 actions, Taffy.
I'm gonna cast false life on myself.
And that gives you 10 HP?
6.
6 HP?
Wait, you create a reservoir of vitality from necromantic energy, gaining a number of temporary hit points equal to 6 plus your spellcasting ability modifier. So it's actually 6.
Yeah, it should be 10.
Oh, yeah, not 10. Okay, so I'm going to give myself 10 bonus HP. I think that was 2 actions.
Yep. So you use 1 action to sustain, and then you cast False Life on yourself. And so you feel yourself invigorated with vitality infused in from your necromantic arts.
And I'm going to use a free action and reiterate, Alec, please throw me up when you get over, or when you're done doing that.
A look of recognition goes across his face, and she's like, "You've got it, Miss Taffy." And it is now the female hobgoblin's turn.
The hobble wobble.
Hobble lobble.
Taking up
Hobgob.
her stance, she looks Stano in the eye, and in common, having taken your measure, "You're going to be a fun one, aren't you?
I always try.
My name is Demiri Yashtola. Let it be the last name you know before you die."
Stano Salisfer.
And none of us
She
heard that.
has to take an action to actually do that, but she's going to launch into her twin strikes against your horse first. What's your horse's AC?
Oh, that's a good question, actually. Bitch.
Doesn't give a shit about anything, not even a horsey life. Life of a little neighbor.
It's 18.
Neighbor.
Why do horses have such high ACs?
It's a horse.
It's
Thick
true.
skins. They're healthy as a horse.
I mean, have you ever tried to hit a horse?
No, it's not something I've ever had to try to do. No.
Neither have I.
Honestly, being around horses
So
make me really nervous.
you have the stat block open. How much HP does the horse have?
22.
Okay.
That horse dead. Oh, right. She's a hobgob. She hates horses.
No,
Goblins
that's a
hate horses.
goblin thing.
Oh.
Remember, hobgoblins and goblins they're actually 2 separate races.
Okay.
Is the horse dead?
Do you take additional damage for the horse falling on you?
Only if the horse falls on me. I am assuming that if the horse dies and falls, Chris is going to have me make a reflex save.
Yes.
Do I need to do that?
So, the rapier dramatically runs in under the flank and gut side of the horse, forcing Stano to need to make a reflex save as the
Okay.
horse rears up, attempting to throw her in the process of it.
Fuck
Falling.
me. Wimble's there.
I'm not worried.
So, Wimble will be able to, is still kind of occupying Steno's space, so he'll basically
Oh.
latch on to Steno.
I'm assuming he can fly.
He can, but
I thought he
he
was
can only
walking.
act really on Taffy's action.
It's a 29. That's a natural 20.
So you,
Snatch Wimble out of the air.
you
Land
take,
on my feet.
you take Wimble with you, and you land on your feet an additional 5 feet away from.
Oh, what was that hobgoblin's
stolen.
name?
Demiri.
Okay, sorry. Continue.
And the 2 strikes with the rapier fell the horse. She points her rapier at you, declaring that she will hunt you into the ends of the earth.
Are you a ranger too?
She is a ranger.
Why
as
there's so
well.
many fucking rangers?
Why?
And she whip throws a dagger right at your face.
Didn't she already
Okay.
use 3 actions?
Twin takedown.
Oh, god damn it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And the fun part is, considering what her bonuses are, what's Stano's AC?
22.
23.
No,
Oh,
she's-
yeah, 23. Inspire defense.
You're outside of the range
Oh, fucking.
because you galloped over.
I mean, it does have a 60 foot.
21 or is it 22?
22.
It's 22.
22. Just at the last second, you're able to use your sword to deflect the dagger as it was about to graze right through your eye.
Stano's very excited for this fight.
And you see that Yashtola has another dagger already up in her hand, ready to defend with. as
Wait,
a
her
part
name
of
is Yashtola?
actually, it's Yoltosha. Sorry.
Okay.
Can you
I was
spell
gonna
it?
say-
But I keep pronouncing it as Yashtola.
Can you spell it?
Yashtola is cat mom.
Yoltosha. So it's Yoltosha.
Yoltosha.
Yoltosha. Demiri Yoltosha.
Can we
Get
get
that
that?
done properly here. Demiri just unleashed strikes and gutted Stano's horse, Kazlin. You have 3 actions. You know that there is one half-orc on the platform above you, and you know that you are now dueling one half-orc next to you who is in trouble because he is about to begin his square in a flaming sphere if he does not move. But he is looking a little crispy.
Where is the flaming sphere at now?
On
The
him.
actual-
It is on him.
Oh.
So
Um,
you are not close enough to take damage from it, but you can't occupy that square while it's standing there. That's fine, because you're still within melee of this guy.
does it take up 10 feet?
Fine.
No, it occupies the same square as the person it's attacking.
Okay.
So it's occupying his square
So
presently.
even if I was next to him, even if I was next to him, I would.
Correct, you're fine.
Can
But that square could catch fire, and oh yeah, the square you're in is caught fire. Take 1 point of fire damage.
okay.
Great.
Question:
Answer.
tripping somebody make me occupy that square?
Make you occupy that square? No. In fact, your weapon has the trip trait, right?
No.
No? Okay.
Can I trip somebody and then roll them?
Only if your weapon has the trip trait.
Yes.
Well, I mean, but just in theory. Can
that
you
would be a
roll somebody who's on the ground.
that would be essentially a trip and a bull rush.
How close is he to the edge?
From where he's standing, he has 5 feet between him and this and the edge. So you can move and then try to bull rush him out, but you'd have to critical him.
Yeah. The space that is between me and him, is that space in danger of being caught on fire?
It's standing next to a space that is actively on fire, but it's not caught yet.
I'm gonna move into that space. So just the trip action just requires you to have a free hand. So
Right.
it doesn't have to have, the weapon doesn't have to have the trip trait. As long as it's a one-handed weapon, you can trip.
Correct. Presently wielding the halberd, you have a 2-handed weapon.
Right. So I'm going to move into that space next to him, quick draw, short sword, and then trip in the same action. Can I do that?
Not quite. So you have to drop your halberd. So you're already moving is one action. Dropping is a free action. And then you can quick draw, which allows you to have a strike. But that is a standard strike. And then you'll have one action left to trip if you want. Now, one thing you can do is that you can move, drop, trip, because you'll have both hands free, right?
Yeah.
And then quick draw, strike.
Isn't that 4 actions? I think?
No, because your quick draw gives you a strike.
Move, draw, trip, quick draw. That's 4.
Move, drop.
In the same action?
Yeah, because you can dropping as a free action.
Oh, okay. All right, that's.
But that does mean that you're dropping your halberd in a platform that's on fire.
Yeah.
Now, if you move, put away, that's 2 actions.
Yeah. No, I'll do that. I'll move, drop, trip, and then quick draw.
All right,
Assuming I roll right.
so your athletics needs to beat his reflex. So this would be an athletics attack. Is this time for a button, Brad? Success must be guaranteed, but is fate with you?
15.
15 is not enough to trip.
Okay.
So he's able to dodge out as you try to hook in his leg with your foot, but then you're able to complete your quick draw and make a strike at your -4 because you're finesse.
Damn, I'm really bad now. All of a sudden. 12.
12 misses, and so he's able to deflect with his sword going through. but he's still in a spot that's on fire, so he has a major problem. Demos. You are behind a tree.
I am behind a tree. I am...
Like a coward from Cowardland.
Like, most things are within 120 feet of me, right?
Yes. What are you wanting to do?
I want to use Magic Missile on one of them.
Alright, so within your present view, you can spot one that's on the top platform, and you can spot the one that is presently in a duel with Caslin.
Let's get the one on the top platform. Sorry, I'm trying to find my Magic Missile thing. There it is. Let's do a 2 action so I can use something else at the end there.
So that is going to be 2d4 plus 2. So Demos pops out behind the tree. Pew, pew.
3 plus... And it's plus 2?
Yep, 2d4 plus 2.
So, 5.
5 points.
Yes. And then Inspire Defense is my last move.
And so the song continues to radiate out from Demos, but it's just pew pew. He has to roll. Now it is their turn. So the one who is still occupying the same space as the flaming sphere must roll the reflex save again. And if he fails, he takes the damage. But a natural 18 plus their reflex is going to be above Taffy's DC for that one. So he is going to move out from the spot, and then he thinks he's got a great idea, and he's going to try to trip Bread back after he moves. So Bread, what is your reflex DC?
22. Wait, hang on. My reflex is plus 12.
So that means you have a 22 DC.
Yeah.
So trying to do the same thing that you did to him, he is just not skilled enough.
Just a bunch of idiots up here trying to do stupid shit.
And then he decides to go ahead and just make a strike for his next one, but then you take and deflect on that one as well with your short sword. And he is just not able to make any headway or progress. And then the one who just got plopped in the face by a magic missile spots where Damos is at, having peeked out around, determines Damos to be his hunted target, and then does a hunted shot at Damos.
So this hunted shot arrow, it's going to curve around the tree to hit Damos.
Well, Damos had to peek out from around, and so it's going to catch the
So
one...
it's going to shoot Damos's face off.
That's what we're going for. Damos, what is your AC?
Including Inspired Defense, it's a 20.
So this arrow whizzes right in front of your nose and just barely misses you.
Oh, wow.
Thank God.
That's what happens when I roll a 7.
Yeah.
Alright, and then Steno.
Yes.
It is now your action.
Yes. Am I able to hit her?
You have to move up, but yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. So, first thing what she's going to do is she's going to move up, and she's going to attempt to do a knockdown. This is important. This is only 2 actions for her.
So the DC for this is pretty high. You can tell that this fighter is well balanced in their stance.
It's a 29 to hit.
29 is successful, but it is not a critical.
That's fine. Doesn't have to be. So, first of all, I'm going to roll damage. So that's 9 damage. And then automatically go into the athletics check. 24.
24 is a success.
So she's now prone. Stano still has 1 action.
All right,
So she's going to use that to command the dog to go up.
an attack. So she is flat-footed from being prone.
That is a 23.
23 hits while she
Okay.
is prone.
And the dog does. So the dog technically does 1d4 plus 1 piercing damage. But because he has the pack attack and I'm his ally,
Excellent.
he does 2d4.
You're rolling D4s.
I know.
The D4s matter for the fighter.
6 damage.
6 damage. She is still up, but she is looking.
She ain't up. She down.
She is prone, and it is now Alec's turn. So Alec is poised to launch Taffy up onto the platform.
Well, he has to move up to me and. Oh.
He has to, for you to properly be able to make the jump, he has to launch you up onto the platform. So you can't be away from the platform. You have to be able to move and then make the jump. He can throw things pretty far, but throwing a gnome 20 feet up in the air to where they'll land safely on top of a burning platform is not within his skill yet. Give him another 5 levels and he's right there.
How far away is he? Would
So
it take one action to get to him?
At a 20-foot speed, yes.
Okay.
And so with him assisting you, it'll take a total of 2 actions to be able to get up to the platform, leaving 1 action left if you did so.
Okay.
But he'll use all of his actions to make sure that you can get up to that platform.
Okay. It's my turn.
It is Taffy's turn. This is
Taffy?
like one of the longest combats y'all have had, and I am
It
so
really
happy.
is.
Taffy is gonna run and like fucking dirty dancing leap. into
Oh my
Alex.
god.
And while she's doing that, Wimble's gonna fly over to her.
So you jump into Alec's hands. He catches one hand around your waist, the other underneath your feet, and then up launches you. Give me an athletics or acrobatics.
Yes, that is you, Sid. You have to do that. Because Taffy has to be able to do this for herself. You've got one of them, right? You don't have either of them?
one, do you?
Oh no, I have acrobatics. I'm gonna roll in acrobatics.
Oh no.
I know someone's out of hero points.
I love the idea of Taffy just being thrown into the bush
11.
or something. Just,
Okay.
No, he's still throwing me up onto the platform. It's whether I land on my feet or land on my face.
Correct. Now here's the
Fucking
problem.
Belly flop knocked the wind out of her.
You see, I said before that it would generally be out of Alec's skill set
Yeah, Chris did warn you.
unless he rolls something like a natural 20,
Okay.
which he just rolled a natural 20.
Okay.
Now,
Crazy.
here's the issue with that, though,
Oh no.
is now you are up. You're over. But you're a little higher than you should be. So when you're coming down, you're having to land being 10 feet above the platform. So you're going to take 3 points of damage as you fall. Because if you'd hit a 15, you would have been fine. But since you went below the 15, you take 3 points of damage from the fall there. But you
No.
are now up on the platform with an action.
So I'm on my feet.
You are on the platform, on your feet.
I'm going to flick my wrist and sustain the flaming spear and chase the goblin or orc that's attacking Brad again.
And what's your DC?
20? Much better. Well, no, actually it's the same, 12.
So trying to dance away from the sphere, it ends up catching his leg, and the flames fully engulf and encompass him. And as he loses his balance, burning to a crisp, the oxygen just choking out of his lungs, he falls off the platform, burning to a crisp as this crazy bit of flaming. Which, speaking of flames,
So the flaming sphere did not catch any further on this platform so far. On the sphere itself.
I think that's what we're about to find out.
high or low?
Hi.
1 spot? 2 spots? So that whole tree there is fully caught up on fire at this point. The fire is beginning to spread around this part of the platform. it's looking very rough there. And so now the Demiri's turn is now.
Can I use a free action to tell Brad we need to get down?
You can. Demiri, being prone, has to do a quick debate, knowing that she needs to get back up on her feet quickly and effectively. Yeah, she's just going to have to take the stand up from prone part. So that means she's going to have to take the attack of opportunity from Stano to do what she needs to do.
Too bad for her she doesn't have Kip up.
Right. I was checking to see if she had Kip up, but she's too low level. What's
28?
28 hits.
Holy
Holy damage.
Shit,
Yay.
snacks.
10. It's 1d12.
So you can tell that she is bloodied, but determined. And she unleashes her flurry of attacks on Stano. Stano, what is your AC?
23.
She just
Pull a red card.
Demos better pop out a soothe on Stano.
And this
after
needs to be piercing. Oh, this green die. This green die is interesting. Do you know that rapiers are a deadly D8?
Yes.
Calf jab. Until healed, the target is clumsy 1 and takes a minus 10-foot status penalty to land speed.
Fucking what?
So your dexterity-based checks and DCs, including your AC, have been hit. So that's clumsy 1.
Yeah.
So that means your AC is now at -1 there.
how long is that? 1 round?
No,
Until
it's still
healed.
healed.
Oh.
So
Demos better be willing to come over there and do medicine and soothe. Y'all ever gonna get over to where Stano is fighting this hobgoblin?
Trying to kill shit. And Brad and I are on the way.
All caught up in these
Stano
halfies.
takes 24 points of damage from that attack. Is Stano still up?
You said 24 points of damage?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
The
Stano is still up, but she does not look good.
second attack that also hit, but was not a critical, hits for 6 more points of damage.
Stano's down.
No.
Stano was also the one who summoned with the Onyx dog, correct?
Yes.
So I believe the dog no longer has an active controller.
That's correct.
So the dog is also going to be unsummoned as well.
Yes.
Caslin.
We still have the archer is still on the roof, right? There's still an archer on the roof.
There's still one up there, yes.
All right, I'm gonna give a turn to
Dago.
Dago. Dago is going to fly into this guy, attempting to push him off the roof.
You can attempt to bull rush a target that is one size category larger, and technically he's medium, so Dago can try it. The problem is Dago doesn't have the action, I don't think, because Dago gets 2 actions, so you'd have to move and then bull rush, right?
I think Bull Rush is a move, isn't it?
If bull rush is a move, then you'll be able to do it. So we'll say yes for now.
Okay.
We'll look it up later.
Okay. 16.
16 is not enough. So Dago finds himself now face to face with this orc. So it's basically Drake to orc up there at the top. So you still have 2 actions left though, Caslin.
Can I just keep using Dago? Can I just keep giving him my actions?
No,
I
you
think
can
it's
only do it
per
once.
turn.
Oh no! What have I done?
Do you have a bow?
I do. Bow time. It's bow time.
All right, so you pull out your bow or you quick draw your bow. So now you have to drop down your short sword, your halberd is already on the ground, and so now you've quick drawn your bow, and now you can make a strike.
Let's call me Dr. Ranger Gadget. I don't know where the doctor came from.
Inspector Ranger. Do what?
There you go. Okay.
What have we got?
Yeah. Okay, gonna pull that bow out and do the thing. Damn, I am rolling so bad now.
What you got?
16.
16 does not hit. You've got one action left.
Well, I guess I'm gonna just try it again. 15.
15 does not hit.
Not
Wait.
using that one anymore.
Demos.
Can I say something real quick?
Yes.
When Stano died, because it's an Onyx dog, I went ahead and I double checked it. I don't know if y'all would have noticed this, but it would have turned back into its statue form. So it would have been like a magic lost.
So,
I don't know if anybody else noticed that.
well, since you were on the other side of the shack,
Nobody
no.
noticed. Stano's bleeding out and dying.
Demos. So you see that there is the half orc on the top. The one of the other half orcs that wasn't slain by Alec just fell off and is crispifying on the ground. You have no line of sight on Stano whatsoever. What do you want to do?
Well, if I don't have a line of sight on Stano, but I know she went behind them,
Yep.
probably head over that way.
All right. So you want to ride or gallop?
There's no point in being stealthy at this point, right?
Yeah, I guess gallop over.
So you gallop around the backside, and it takes 2 actions to do so. You see this pointy-eared, purple-tinged hobgoblin with a patch across her eye, standing valiantly over what appears to be a slain Stano. Blood dripping from wounds at the side, a horse gutted, and the small onyx dog lying at the bottom, and you have 1 action remaining. What do you do?
Balls on that. Soothe.
Soothe takes 2 actions, doesn't it?
Nope. It does. Fuck. Can I try to use the horse to step on this damn hobgoblin?
So you
That's the best action I have at the moment. To try to stomp her or something.
you've already directed this minion to gallop over, so it's
Yeah.
already taken your actions for that.
Yeah, because whenever you direct the minion.
So then
it's
technically
one
Deimos would have
action.
2 actions. Because
Yeah.
it would have been...
Yep.
So Deimos does have 2 actions.
All right, so in that case, you can do a ranged soothe. This means that Stano is going to have the wounded 1 condition.
7.
And so
Okay.
Stano is back. His intake of breath. And you are conscious, prone, luckily not bleeding, but you still have the calf wound that's there. So now we have this poor orc who realizes that he is now atop a burning tree.
Oh, I should just left him. Should just left him there. I forgot the tree was burning down.
And so he's got to figure out a way down and off this tree as quickly and as best as possible.
Please tell me he jumps. How far up is it?
He's going to take all 3 actions to do this. It is going to take 2 athletics checks. And we're going to see if this works well for them. And he yells, "Medvic, preserve me." You see him
Bitch,
run
what?
and grab the edge of one of the rope ladders. He's going to attempt to take it and then swing with the rope ladder. So there's a rope ladder that leads between each of these. So he's going to begin with his first athletics and gets a 23. So he's going to swing. So you see him take this and begin swinging through. And so Caslin, you watch him as he swings just right by, and he is swinging out from his perch, and he's going to try to land on the shack. but he has to do it just perfectly.
Wait, the
and it
shack
is a DC.
that Deimos and Stano are currently behind.
Yes, on the other side.
Okay.
So he's going to try to land on the roof of that. This is going to be a DC 25. He has the equivalent of a +7. That is a 19.
What the hell?
I
He's
love
gonna
this.
fall his ass off.
I
the
love
shack.
this green die. So he is going to
Loaded.
Give me that green
slide, or he swings off, and he is going to fall through the roof of the shack. So he's going to take the falling damage from this.
die. Wait, he failed?
No, he has to get what he
Oh.
wanted to do.
Oh.
He used the momentum from his swing to launch himself off the side and down onto this shack because it's a good 15 foot away from it. But his weight is going to be enough to go through the roof of the shack.
Is that gonna throw off the hobgoblin at all?
So y'all just hear this giant crash and this poof through the top. And I also have to remember he was damaged, but he did not accidentally kill himself.
Oh no!
That would have been good.
That would have been funny.
So that's his turn. So y'all just watch this dude woof, through.
I swear to God.
Brad, I
So-
think he might have been cooler than some of us. Although he did fall through the roof, so that's about right.
I feel like he was cheating.
I feel
Don't know
he
how.
was too.
I don't know how cheating would work in this situation. I feel it like it happened.
So
Hey, but he didn't attack.
he did not attack the Drake.
That's true.
Alec begins moving over and is at the end of his third action is able to pull up beside Demos on the horse and sees behind there. And he now finds himself in a battle stance, seeing that one of his friends appears to have been fallen at the end of a blade.
Hi.
Taffy, your tree's on fire. Let's find out how much that spreads.
Oh.
This
So
turned out to be kind of a bad day.
Yeah, we took down those first 3 orcs so like elegantly and like yes, it's on your face. It's so masterfully.
Gone, or-
Yes, it's gone.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So well done. We were all like perfectly coordinated. We were just like, yeah, let's do this.
more of the platform is caught on fire. Taffy, what do you want to do?